So the other day, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, I was walking with my brother, and essentially, I said if I didn't post a video today, then he'd get the slap in the face. So I would like to avoid that scenario from occurring. So yeah, here we go. This is like the first video I'm going to be posting on this channel. And while we're at it, I think it's a good opportunity to talk about taking action and why we often find ourselves pushing back or avoiding taking action, especially in relation to goals we want to achieve, objectives we want to pursue. And I think it's difficult. In my experience, there's one there's one thing that comes to mind, which kind of stops me from taking action. The first is perfectionism, and essentially really wanting to put out something that's, hey bro, something that's quote unquote perfect, and which something that's, I guess, worthy of being of the best quality, of the highest quality that you think you can put out. But I think the problem with that is perfect doesn't really exist, and I think for sure in whatever field or area we're applying this to, you'll always get better once you practice. And it's hard because it can be definitely like an internal conflict of having to deal with not wanting to accept that, or struggling to accept that something, the quality might not be up to where you want it to be, for example. So I think you just have to accept that if you make mistakes or doesn't go the way you want it, then that's okay, and you just iterate and learn and do better next time. And I know it sounds maybe easier on paper, to take every experience as a lesson, but in practice it's often much harder. So but I think we all have the ability to try to be less self-critical, and accept that we'll make mistakes and fail in order to move forward and make progress. So that's the first thing. Yeah, perfectionism, in terms of why we avoid taking action. Maybe I think the second one that comes to mind is what can stop you from taking action is often a lot of self-doubt, and like limiting beliefs about how you perceive yourself, and the kind of thoughts that go in your mind that aren't necessarily supportive or helpful for you to kind of go down the direction, the path that you want. And in my experience, self-doubt, I mean, a lot of examples I can talk about another time where I struggle with that, and I still do for sure. And I think, in order to start believing in yourself more, I think you have to show yourself a bit more, give yourself more space to try new things, to make mistakes, and to give yourself a bit more of some leeway, be a bit less harsh on yourself. And ultimately, it sounds, I don't know how it sounds, but you have to be your own biggest supporter at the end of the day. We can't expect other people to be there our whole lives, rooting for us. And if you have that, that's great. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you, And I know that it's been difficult for me to really believe and achieve, the things that I'd like to achieve in my life. But I think it's a step-by-step process. And as I've gotten older, I think I'm believing in myself more. and that comes with experience and putting yourself into challenging and uncomfortable situations, and just being more aware of your thoughts can be really helpful, you know, through meditation or journaling, whatever it is, because the power of your, like the thoughts, you know, the storyline that goes in your mind has such a strong impact on how you view the world, how you behave. So it's important to, I guess, like ground zero, where to start is really starting to be aware of how what your thoughts are, what those patterns are, and oftentimes, like, you'll realize they're holding you back, or quite negative, or, you know, not necessarily supportive. If you struggle with, I guess, self-belief, and therefore struggling to take action on things, but I think it's definitely possible to work on that, you know, and stop over-analyzing, you know, things, and just kind of 3, 2, 1 and just go. Yeah, so that's that. Thanks for listening, and yeah, see you in the next video.